Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today we will be painting one fun painting, and we should definitely only enjoy ourselves and don't stress yourself about it. It should be loose, it should be fun. I will be using this Clearefontaine Fontaine watercolor paper. It is 300 GSM or 140 pounds. It is cold press watercolor paper, 24 by 30 centimeters or 9.5 by 12 inches. It is also 100% cotton watercolor paper. I will also be using these watercolors that I made myself. Few of those colors, I will be using this white gouache, and also I will be using this pretty pink from Etchr palette. For the brushes, I will be using this a little bit larger round brush, Mobi brush, a little bit smaller round brush, and one detail brush. And this is brush from Lebenzon paintbrushes. I do love that brush. It has a very beautiful pointy tip and awesome for details. So that is, I think, basically everything. So without further ado, let's get started. I will prevent the paper, but not really the entire paper, but just splatter some clean water on top of it here and there where it falls. Now I've picked up a little bit of the yellow. This is something like a raw sienna, and adding it here and there, and also sprinkling with the tip of my brush, then picking up some green, and on the lower part adding some of the green in the same manner, just tapping with my brush. And I'm not really trying to paint any shapes at this point. I'm just blocking in the colors and just adding where I do want it to have a little bit more yellow. I'm adding yellow. Where I want to have green, I'm adding green. So a little bit of the darker pigment here and there, just to make it look like there are some shadows, some highlights. So when it dries, it will look maybe like a green meadow and grasses here and there. Also now picking up some beautiful pink from Etchr palette and mixing it with violet from my colors, and to get this a little bit less vibrant or a little bit muted pink color to paint in the sky. And also picked up a little bit of the blue ultramarine to add it also at the top to my sky. And I'm not painting one even wash, not for the meadow, not for the sky, just adding colors here and there. And I do believe that would be a beautiful background to our flowers. Now I've picked up that white gouache, and while the paint is still wet, I'm tapping with my brush that white gouache here and there where I want those larger white flowers to be. And at this point, I'm still not trying to paint particular shapes of the flowers, petals. I'm just adding it here and there where I will later on paint a little bit more details to our flowers. Also, I've sprinkled some white gouache, and then on top sprinkled some of that pink color that I did use for the sky. And in the same manner as I painted those white flowers, I'm now painting in some pink violet flowers, just tapping in with the tip of my brush the shape and impression of those flowers. I've picked up a little bit more of the paint, a little bit more saturated paint, and added it here and there also on those flowers, just to make some of the parts a little bit darker, to make it look like there is some play of the shadows and light. Now adding the centers of my white flowers with yellow, and I will dry it now completely. And now that it is dry, I've picked up a little bit smaller round brush, and with that brush picking up some white gouache and painting in the petals for my flowers. And as you can see, even now I'm not really trying to be precise to paint every single petal, to paint them beautifully. I'm just tapping with the tip of my brush, pressing my brush onto the paper, just painting the impressions of the flowers. That will definitely be enough for this. We're not trying to paint a realistic painting. This is a loose, fun painting. So just don't bother yourself. Don't put any stress on yourself how those flowers should look. Also adding a little bit more of that yellow now that that I've added the white gouache on the top. My centers got lost, so I'm adding some of the centers to the flowers again with that This is something like a rose sienna, tapping in a little bit of the yellow and picking up the same color as I did use for the background, mix of that pretty pink and a violet color for my flowers. And again, not trying to paint any particular shape. If you did watch my earlier tutorials, this is a basic shape for the flowers I do use and do paint a lot. So just trying in to make the impression of the flowers. Again, sprinkling in some of that violet color, mostly on the part where those flowers are, a little bit less on the part where white flowers are. And now with this beautiful, as I said, brush with the pointy tip, I'm painting in the stems for the flowers. On those pink flowers, I will be painting using dark brown. This is actually one more color from Etchr palette called the dark brown, to paint in that lower part root of the flowers and stems. And for the stems of white flowers, I'm using some green. A little bit more of the splatters with white gouache, some splatters with green also. And with that, I'll be finishing off this painting and this video. Thank you guys a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you will give it a try. You can see it's very fun but very beautiful and effective. And again, if you do like this video, please hit the like button, share it, comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. That will really mean a lot to me. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!